So very shortly we'll be in action for 15 minutes of racing for the FreakyParts Sports Specials Championship. Out go the lights, away we go. Not a good start from Anton Landon from the front row of the grid. He's been bested by Neil Turner's Caterham there, but it was a solid start from Andy Hiley's Kronos on pole position. He's going to lead into Copse Corner for the first time. It looks like it is Neil Turner in second. I think the 24 car of Marcus Crook in third, possibly Stuart Mudge in the number 7 car in fourth position as they head through Copse for the first time. The field now heading down to Maggots and Beckett. Some cars going very wide there. The Mevs, including Stuart Mudge. He's way out onto the runoff area, but it's side by side for second position between Marcus Crook and Neil Turner, the two Class B leaders, as they head along the Wellington Straight.
Good thing about those Mevs is that they seem to be quite softly sprung, so going through the gravel there wasn't too much of a hardship for the Class C Championship leader, but change for second place with Landon retaking that spot, having lost it off the line, being very closely followed by Turner and Crook.
Yeah, so coming towards the end of lap number 1 then, Hiley leading by a good margin, 2.898 seconds already. He did a 1:01.386 lap in qualifying this morning, so we'll see if he can beat his lap record in race conditions, or the lap record of 1:01.67 for Paul Collingwood actually in this class. There's Nigel Brown in the number 10 car going through shot, and a driver that's made progress on the first lap. From the back of the grid is JB Brater in the number 38 car, the Expedit Smart car. He's up several positions now from the back of the grid, having missed out in qualifying. There it is, the red number 38 Silver Phoenix from the back of the grid up at the end of the first lap to 10th place.
Third in both races at Brands Hatch was Breaker, and sits third in the Class B Championship. As we saw Stuart Mudge, I think that was trying to keep, I think it must have been Benham Bay, although it does say that Haywood managed to get going on our timing screen, doesn't it?
Yeah, Martin Hayward rather than Andrew. Andrew's not shown as having started. Sorry. Yes, father rather than son out there at the moment. So 2 laps completed, 4.2 seconds now the lead for Andy Hiley over Anton Landon. I think those two are going to get away. We've got a nice little scrap going on amongst the Mevs here, though. You've got Stuart Mudge and Gerard O'Donoghue dicing for these. Stuart Mudge has got back in front now of his class rival, the 47-year-old from Gloucesterman who owns FreakyParts and Mev, the constructors of these cars. And Gerard O'Donoghue, who lists Silverstone actually as his favourite circuit, the local driver from Wellington, but not too far away, 56 years of age. He's a pilot by occupation. Meanwhile, this is the battle for the lead in Class B, Chris, and it's still Marcus Crook in the number 24 car ahead.
Certainly is, being very closely followed by Turner. So that's actually a change from the start of the lap, because it was Turner ahead at the start of lap number 4, but as you can see, absolutely nose to tail with Turner right in the wheel tracks of Crook going towards Copse Corner, but with the outside line going into that very high-speed right-hander, nothing doing just then. With it's very close for the Class C lead as well, with Stuart Mudge trying to keep Gerard O'Donoghue at bay as well. So top 2 in the Class C Championship, going hammer and tongs there as well.
Yeah, so Marcus Crook heading down the Wellington Straight there in the ex-Warren Vesey and Marcus Roskill car, built actually in 1994 originally, this car. Marcus has only been racing since last season. There's a 53-year-old garage owner from Lowestoft over there on the Sussex coast. This car's actually got an ST170 Ford engine in it, so a very potent engine. And just behind him, Neil Turner. This has got a Duratec engine in the Caterham just behind him for the driver that's been racing since 1994, although with a long gap in between. Did some Metro Turbo racing and also 750 Motor Club Caterham racing in this car in the late 1990s.
So back through at Copse Corner at the start of lap number 5, fastest lap of the race being done by Andy Hiley, but not particularly troubling the lap record pace just yet. But, still Crook leading the way in Class B. So I thought I heard a big tyre squeal in the background. That was probably just Stuart Much pushing the limits of adhesion around the shortcut.
Yeah, so up towards Brooklands they go. The left-hander at the end straight. Neil Turner very close to the back. Both of these drivers, I think, know each other quite well from the East Anglian coast, both of them. I think Neil's from Gorleston in Norfolk. And they are having a very close battle on track as well. Not too much to choose between them in terms of the lap times, only a couple of tenths or so. Over the line they go. Turner in a tow there created by Marcus Crook's car. Not sure if he's been able to do anything about that as they go to Copse. Meanwhile, that is, I think, Sylvia Much, and she is just behind the number 28 car, which is the newcomer, Linton Ryan, in his Westfield, the bricklayer from Birmingham, in his first season of racing. So he's just getting used to racing, and he's running there in 12th place.
Sylvia Much, of course, that 2018 class champion in this series. So that is an interclass battle between Sylvia Much in the Class C car and Ryan in the Class A car.
Yeah, so they're battling for 12th and 13th positions. We've lost Simon Dodd, by the way, in the number 49-year-old, 49 car, the 41-year-old who works in cyber security. In his second season of racing in that 1987 car, but that's retired from the race. But yeah, we've got this Westfield SE. The Westfield SEs used to have their own separate championship at one point in the, I guess, the 1990s. It's got a Z-Tech engine, this particular car, run by RV Racing. It's owned the car for 7 or 8 years as Linton. Originally it was in road spec, road legal, but now he's converted it for racing and still finding his feet. I think this is probably his first race at all, so just getting used to how to take part in these sports specials races. Not sure if I'm more time as it goes along. That's one of the Mevs. That must be Mickey Scott, I think, in the number 58 that was just off on the tarmac runoff area, and he's pulling off, isn't he? Looks like he's got a problem.
Yeah, so I wonder if we'll need some sort of intervention because of that. It's quite far away off the road. Meanwhile, we've had a change for the lead in Class B, or we did, right up until Crook managed to find his way back through. But Turner led at the start of this lap by about 1/4 of a second. So that's 2 changes on 1 lap for the lead in Class B.
Yeah, and you can see the marshals there pushing Mickey Scott's car back behind the barrier, so I don't think we're going to have any delays there. That was Anton Landon going through in second place, past some traffic, and then the 2 Class B cars separated by less than 2 tenths of a second. They crossed the line in 3rd and 4th places overall as well. And you can see some of the other cars down there in the lower classes, including the bereaved Ginetta G12 replica of number 26, Alan Robinson, who's in 15th position. But the 2 leads in Class B side by side, and it's Turner around the outside of Marcus Crook as they make their way through Beckett's that time. Crook is keeping his foot to the floor though, but they've got these 2 back markers ahead and they're going to catch them up at the complex.
Yeah, so that could complicate things, but it's Crook much later on the brakes. He has left a gap on the inside that Turner's just about managed to squeeze through, but traffic there as well with the number 26 machine of Alan Robinson, punked right on the apex in his Ginetta G12. So that very nearly opened up the door for Marcus Crook to try and find his way back through, but it is Neil Turner back in the lead of Class B, but not by much at all at the end of lap number 8.
Okay, so we are now working lap 9. We've got 6 minutes of the race left to go, and certainly the Class B battle is the most intense one of this race. Good scrap going on between the 2 class leaders here. Class A, the gap is 12 seconds between the leaders. Class C, it's now 6 seconds between Stuart Much and Gerard O'Donoghue. So this is very much the battle of the race, and you can see that Stuart Much that's closing on them as well, and he's going to get involved with them, I think, before too much longer. He's just over a second behind at the start of the lap, but that gap has been coming down at quite a rate. Yeah,
it was 2 seconds back the lap before. Back on the inside comes Neil Turner. And once again, we have a change for the lead. Absolutely incredible stuff in this Class B battle. Of course, Neil Turner going for 3 consecutive wins to start off the 2025 season, the 2023 overall champion of Sports Specials. Here comes Marcus Crook back on the outside. So level pegging as they come down the start and finish straight back towards Copse Corner. Nothing giving when they go into the right-hander. Stuart Much now right with them as well. So Neil Turner manages to hang on to the place. But what can Stuart Much do in this battle? I've got the Class C cars now just for MEVs. So there might still be a little bit of power to weight at play. Of course, their squabbling ahead is helping Stuart Much close in this gap. But let's see if he can, in fact, show his nose. And he is now. On both of them. Yeah,
a bit more straight line speed, I think that Mev, but Turner trying to go wheel to wheel with him. Really should probably just let him go because, you know, they're competing for a different set of points. So there's little point tangling with a car from a different class. There is, I suppose there is an overall podium position to battle for as well. That might come into play, but that now has been stolen by Stuart Much and Neil Turner pushed outside the overall podium positions. But it's the class points that matter, and he's got to try and hold on to this lead from Marcus Crook, who is on his driver's left as they make their way down to Copse this time. They're going to turn into Copse Corner, and it is the white Caterham of Neil Turner still ahead of the silver of Marcus Crook.
So managing to repel the advances of Marcus Crook for now. Of course, finished second in both races at Brands to Neil Turner. So I think he'd quite fancy being the bride this time around rather than the bridesmaid.
Fisher Fury, I should say, for Marcus Crook rather than a silver, to get my kit cards correct. He's challenging again into Brooklands, but didn't manage to make the move stick there. Wasn't close enough to do it. He's going to have probably three more laps, maybe even 4 actually, because obviously Heine's quite a long way ahead of these. So it might be 4 more laps that they get out of this.
So, Neil Turner seems to have a little bit more cornering speed than the Mev in front of him, which we know has got a bit more grunt down the straight. And I think that's a little frustrating for Neil because he knows that he can take the turns a little bit quicker but would really struggle to find a way through. I think that's why he was trying to defend the place so much, because he knows, I think, in terms of ultimate lap time, he might have a little bit more over the Mev.
Yeah, it's the turbo. It's a 1.8 turbo in the Mev, and that's making the difference on the straights in spite of the Duracell engine, very powerful engine that Neil Turner's Caterham has at its disposal.
Yeah, I think you'll see the difference down the straight here, because you saw how Neil Turner closed up an awful lot, but the Mev will just pull away. Although Stuart Much is doing a little bit of weaving to keep everyone at bay.
Jamie Bradshaw here, he's up to 8th place now after that very good first lap. The race has made up a couple more positions as the race has gone on. There's also been that change between Ryan and Barker, Paul Barker that is, now in the 21 car. He has gone through. They're a lap down, those two. But Paul Barker, the 71-year-old from Crewkern, in his Z-Tech powered Auto-Tune Gemini, he's gone through to take 13th place. There it is, looking resplendent. Racing since 1980, Paul Barker, in mod sports and kit cars, an X-Class champion. In fact, this car in particular was an ex-hill climb car which used to have a 1.6 cross-flow engine. He's converted it to the Z-Tech now. That's Bradshaw, car owned previously by the 750 Motor Club's current president, Tony Southgate, the legendary racing car designer. Meanwhile, Class B battle rages on.
Marcus Crook on the inside at the shortcut. They'll have the outside line when they get to Brooklands. That's not the end of the world, because it is quite a long left-hander, and of course gives you the line into Luffield as well, but was behind when they went into the corner, and so Neil Turner still keeps the Fisher Fury at bay for now. And you see again that frustration as he closes up to Stuart Much at the apex of Luffield and then watches the Mev just pull away down the straight. But we are now making our way onto the final lap of the race, and once again it is Marcus Crook to the outside of Neil Turner for the lead in Class B going towards Copse Corner. I've seen this on a couple of occasions, hasn't managed to make it work so far, and doesn't on this occasion either.
I reckon they might get another lap out of this, because at the time Andy Hiley went onto it, I think there was still more than a minute or so to go, and it's a 1:03 basically for lap time. So Hiley's going to get through, I think, with time to start one more lap in the number 53 Kronos. We've not seen much of Andy in this race, the Yorkshire driver, because he's been just so far out in front. He made a good solid start to the race. race, and it's a shame he's not got more competition in his class this season. It was a similar story at Brands Hatch as well. We've got none of the eclipses, for example, from Paul Collingwood or Clive Hudson or Paul Boyd, people like that. They're not out this season, and so he's not had so much opposition. Anton Landon sort of fought valiantly on, but he's 13 seconds behind him in this race. And Hiley now has gone on to his final lap. You can see further back, Colin Benham's just done a personal best on 108.727. But yep, Hiley up the Wellington straight for the final time.
A little bit of traffic in front of him, but I think that'll care for naught about that. And once again, Imperious.
26 cars into the pits, that's Alan Robinson, so it looks like he's retiring from the race. But Hiley turning his way through the left-hander at Brooklands. His best lap has been a 102.303. I wondered if he might get down to the lap record, and possibly if there was more pressure on him, he might have done, but he's been just so much quicker than everybody else. He's probably not needed to stress the car unnecessarily. And so Andy Hiley is going to come through for a third time this season to win the Freaky Parts Sports Special Championship race, the first of 2 races this weekend here at Silverstone, and a very convincing win it is too. He's lapped everyone up to and including Jamie Bracher there in 8th position. Anton Landon should come home in 2nd. Class B is still up for grabs. Don't know if we can see the final few corners of that battle. They'll just be, I think, about to head through the final few corners now. In fact, there's Landon in 2nd. Stuart Mushet will be that will complete the podium. And no, it won't. Oh. It's not. It's Neil Turner and Marcus Crook that get ahead of Stuart Much on the final lap and finish in that order with 53 thousandths between them.
Cracking finish to the Class B battle there. And it is Neil Turner for the 3rd time this season, as indeed it is for Andy Hiley, of course. Stuart Much coming away with the Class C win as well, despite that last lap drop of 2 overall positions. And so he also makes it a triple for the season.
So I think we lost 3 cars in that race. We lost Simon Dodd to the pit lane, and also right towards the end, Alan Robinson as well. Mickey Scott stopped his MEV out on circuit on the start and finish straight. We will see then that Andy Hiley has taken the win. 15 laps completed by him in the 15-minute race. And he was 14.676 seconds ahead of the rest of them. So 53 the winner from 64. Anton Landon in 2nd place. Number 2, Neil Turner took 3rd position. 4th place went the way of number 24, which was Marcus Crook. In 5th position was number 7, Stuart Murch. 6th was 69, Gerard O'Donoghue. 7th place went the way of number 10, which was Nigel Brown. Jamie Braich from the back of the grid took 8th place in number 38. Colin Benham, number 18, took 9th, and rounding out the top 10 was number 65, Martin Hayward. So class wins to Andy Hiley, to Neil Turner, and to Stuart Much, with no Class D finishers because there was only 1 Class D starter, and that was Simon Dodd, who retired to the pits very early on. So Andy Hiley already down pit lane, and I think we're going to get our 3 class winners in for Kieran Mogg to talk to in a few moments. But Hiley just unclipping the steering wheel, taking off his gloves and helmet, and he'll climb out of the car. And I suspect it wasn't really the most exciting race for him in many ways, but we'll see what he's got to tell Kieran about that in a few moments.
Still going on strong. I remember chatting with him just before, or just after he turned 60, in fact. And he was saying, oh yeah, my first race as a pensioner. And he still went out and won that as well, and still going strong. Because that was a couple of years ago now. Yeah. Is this going to be about an exchange about the last lap? Yeah. It seemed like Stuart was sort of leaning over to have a chat with Neil there. But I said, last time I saw Stuart, his car was on fire. The hood that he just taped back onto his car after it flew off at Snetterton. But let's go down to Kieran to hear from our class winners.
See here, Andy Hiley just got out of the car. Andy, if we can jump in a quick second, that was an absolutely dominant performance.
Car worked okay. I got an extremely good start. I think that's what happened. I've never hooked a start up quite like that one before. So I was gone, wasn't it, at the first corner. I couldn't believe my luck. I thought, well, that one worked out fine. I think we're all trying to get used to the tyres because we switched tyres at the front. And it's interesting trying to work out what the tyre likes and doesn't like. So I was a bit erratic because I was trying to find out what the tyres will cope with and what they won't, how long they'll last. The backs were going away a little bit, so I started trying to protect them. So I was figuring out how to do that. So yeah, but it was an easy race, which is not really, you know, what we want. We want more competition. We want the other boys to come out and show us how it's done. So yeah.
It looked like the car was quite suited to the track, though. Did you feel quite comfortable with this layout in this car and this weather?
Right. It isn't my favourite track. It's a bit 3 corners, not suited. Don't like, but the car likes it. But it's not to my liking. It's smooth, it's fast. The car works well on that kind of track. So yeah.
Well, at least you got the win. So congratulations for that, and hopefully we'll see you up here again.
Hopefully, yep, and yep. And later
cheers,
in the
thank you very
season, hopefully we'll see.
Definitely, yeah. Cheers, thank you very much. Right, we'll go and speak to our class winners. So we've got Neil Turner in Class B. So Neil, that was ding dong all the way along.
Yeah, come on, that's racing. Come on, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
I think you had a lot of fun out there, though.
Yeah, Sparks is only just down the road from me at home, and we help each other out. And he's driving superbly, and what a race! It was just fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked really fun as well. Obviously, you're having a bit of a battle with Stuart as well. So it looked like 3 of you the entire way along. It was fantastic.
I think the great thing about this championship is we're in 3 completely different cars, different engines, and we're all equally balanced, aren't we? You know, if you want to have some good, equal, fair racing, then this is the place to come. You know, I don't know why more people just don't do it. It's great fun.
It is a lot of fun. Well, congratulations on the class win, and hopefully we'll see you up here again.
Yeah, great. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, thank you very much. Now, Stuart, have a quick chat with you as well. Now, we didn't quite catch what happened on that last lap because the cameras cut to obviously to the start finish when Andy came across the line. So can you talk about what happened? Obviously, you got the class win, but what happened?
Could have done with a couple of extra litres of fuel. So the lap prior coming through Luffield, the car was cutting out, and I thought I just need to limp it home now. And then it came back to life, and then back down the Hamilton Straight, I think it is, just cut out again. And Neil and Sparky went past me. I was just the helmet was blue. I was so annoyed with myself because we just thought we'll put 18 litres in. No, we need a couple of extra, and then it would have been absolutely fine. But these 2 guys are so closely matched as well. I think we qualified 0.2 or 0.3 of a second between the 3 of us, and I made a mistake on the first lap, went wide, went off, and then I was just hunting these 2 down. And we've got it on the straights, but they're much quicker through the corners, so it balances it out over a lap, and it makes it a really good, interesting race.
It was fantastic all the way along, but congratulations on the win. Hopefully we'll see you up here again.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Tomorrow more the same.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Well, as you can hear, cars are out on the circuit, so coming up next is the 750 Formula.